shaped like Japan. The one that's Australia is the Earth one. This one here, the female 10, shaped like Japan. All right, moving on to wizard stuff. That was witch stuff. So water one, giant deluge, the Sphinx, the islands, Mesopotamia, age of Leo. Okay, so that's when Leo, the Sphinx, the constellation of Leo, several thousand years ago, like what, 12,000 years ago, molds itself to the Sphinx. So that's what time period we're at. And you, I don't know, learn about that sort of thing in the constellations. Every 2,000 years, the constellations switches. What age of Aquarius now? Mesopotamia, Polynesia, maps, magic maps. That's kind of cool. I guess that's where you pick up magic maps that show hidden locations, like the Harry Potter map, the Mischief Managed, yeah, maps like that. The Watchers, Angels, Noah, Giants. Okay, so this is like pre-deluge stuff. And I guess that's water one and lots of tiny little Mesopotamian islands. And what you learned there is, I don't know, your first summon the waters magic, part the waters, summon them, you know, collide, part, that sort of thing. Okay. Works for me. Time capsule. That's kind of fun. All right. So Ice Lake Dual School is wizard number 2. And, you know, that's where you get a wand and you fight. And where's that? That is it's getting late. That's why there's so many shadows. It's late to school. I just found it ahead of time. I gotta look for the big M's. Here it is, down here. Training school, Durmstrang, Threshold Crossing or Trials, Merlin Shapeshift Duel, Ice Wand, female teacher for female, male teacher for male. Okay. Harry Potter versus Malfoy. All right. 3. Hermes, tent, guitar. We talked about that. This is more like a David Copperfield sort of BS magic area. It's, let's see, which is probably why you don't get much magic out of it. There's the boots of Hermes. Okay, so the ability to move quick, run over, like in Zelda for Super Nintendo. You can use the boots to run over a gap, like Mario. It's okay. He moves very quickly. That'll work. So that'll come in handy. That like going over gaps, like the magic hover over certain areas. You know, and you make it past the gap. That works for wizards that can't jump because they handle like a D&D character. Number 4, Narnian Ice Queen. That's back to ice, and that introduces some of the problem that I mentioned earlier that needs to be fixed with wizards and generals. That is one of the failings of, you know, the greatest attempt ever. There's always some serious problems, and the fact that I just mentioned ice for, oh no, I guess light. Hermes guitar is light. Now I'm going to ice 4. So yeah, no. 2 ices. Dual School is ice, and then ice again. Same thing happens with water later, and air. All 3 of those are problems, because it should just be, I'll say it now, it just should be a straight shot across all the elements, and that needs to be fixed. Okay. So, which is an undertaking of massive proportions. Narnian Ice Queen. That's I think that was created as a sort of actually like an incel thing. Here it is, way down here, which means it's pretty close to the core of the planet. Not the core, the void, the big chunk that's taken out of the bottom here. Castle in the Sky, Castle in the Ice Dome, Ice Queen, white hair, prince form females. Okay, white hair prince for females. Ice queen for males. Males meaning male wizards. Versus female witches who walk into this area. Men are weaker. Men are very weak to her. Okay. Temptress, the deplorable word, stone wand, ice ring. Okay, so those are items that you can pick up there that are really good in your inventory. The ice ring, stone wand. That sounds cool. Okay, this is a metal wand. Number 5, Cimmerals. Under the mountain, Earth. Let's see. Earth is FFFM. There's got to be an M in here somewhere. Here it is. Beowulf, 13th Warrior, Dwarves, Ogres, Orcs, Trolls, Gollum. Nidavellir, home of the Dwarves. I can't pronounce that. It's very Norse. Hridimari. Okay, I'm going to get in trouble for that pronunciation. The King. Draupnir, again, off the side of Asgard. 1 Cimmeral of 3. So, Under the Mountain is one of the 3. And I thought I mentioned that the 9 fire for the witches, the newts in the fire lava rivers, that's a good place for a Cimmeral as well. Maybe a 4th Cimmeral. Under the okay. So got to keep it moving. All right, I covered that one. Oh, pure fantasy. Nice. Okay, yeah. So that's just 13th Warrior Beowulf. Got to fight Beowulf's mom and Grendel. Anyway, number 6, How to Train Your Dragon. And for the wizard ones, they're not as connected as the rest of them. The wizard and the witch, they're kind of portal based because their main element for the witches and wizards is kind of air and bolt, and those are everywhere, or at least they were supposed to be originally. But you can't really have a main element if they're supposed to have the witch and the wizard just plow through one out of every of the 10 elements with everyone, as they go from level to level, because that's how you stock up on your 10 rings. Like the ice ring that we just had mentioned. Okay. Cimmerals Under the Mountain. How to Train Your Dragon. That's Air 6. That's going to be right here. Oh, found it quickly for once. Dragon Rider, Harry Potter, How to Train Your Dragon. Falcor, The Never-Ending Story. That sounds fun. Okay, so it's a what is it? It's a rail, what they call a rail. It's a dragon riding level, but it's a rail shooter. There we go. Okay, Temple of the Four Winds, number 7, also in air. Right, just really testing my patience with how that's just not doing the elements correctly. But it's what was essentially left after everybody had a nice, after all the thieves had a nice little nation that strung through, and all the elements lined up in according to how hot and cold they were. So there's problems. Now there's a little bit of softening where you can say, oh well, it's air, but it's kind of earth-like air. It's just like the dark levels had. Well, it's dark, but it's wind and dark, and that's the Ghostbuster level, the Dark 2. So you can get away with some of that, and we thought that's where it was going at the beginning, but problems seeped in. Okay, so Air 7. What is it called? Temple of the Four Winds. That's from the Book of Enoch, and this is really this is where, because it's level 7, so what 70 through 79, very high power wizard stuff. So you get the ability to teleport here, and that's at least following the trend of the level. It should be linked to how powerful you are as a wizard. Should reflect like the location and the intensity of the element. And Air Air 7, that's a good place for you to learn Meteor, like from Final Fantasy 7. Sephiroth calls down Meteor. Okay. Mirror shows everything. Hand mirror sees through golems and helpers, I guess. Spirited Away for female. That's kind of fun. GPS. 3 of 3 Sky Simural. Maybe there's 3 Sky Simurals for, or there's 3 Simurals for men, 3 for female. It must be in here because I'm catching that's the 5th Simural I believe I've come across, which means there's one more to go. Air, earth, water, fire. Anyway. Okay, moving on. But that one's a very Book of Enoch. There's a temple. It's got clear walls. It's very trippy. They glow. It's almost like you're in a spaceship. That's why it's Air 7. Grimm's Forest, Lothlorien. Okay, definitely it was Life 8 right here. Grimm's Forest. That's the main component here. Very trippy, much like going to Santa Claus, the North Pole. The heavier you get with magic, the trippier the area should become. So that's what's going on here. And you come across lots of strange beasts. Every level should have at least 10 monsters in it, ideally, and at least one major main guy, and at least one major city or major city center, and has an area, and at least one major weapon that you can roll away with, or item, or accessory, or robes, or something for every character that type who rolls through to at least roll out with something interesting. You should be able to look like somebody when you finish it. Tweak your avatar. You should be able to get a new hat if you're a wizard. If you're a witch, I guess skull cap. That should probably be reversed. So, or who cares? Gandalf hat. King Arthur's wizard Merlin, a skull cap from Excalibur. Either way, however you want to play it, sounds good to me. So, I guess the original idea was skull cap for Down Under. Who cares? Gender assigning wizards. I'm not into it. Grimm's Forest, Lothlorien. For number 8, Hela has a throne here, underneath which is a route to hell. That's a real thing from Norse mythology. The land of the elves. She has a passageway straight to, I guess, the abyss. I guess Darkness 10 is where that portal goes through, and I believe that it also goes to somewhere else. Elfheim probably goes to. From Elfheim here. So this is Elfheim. Okay, Elfheim from Norse mythology, one of the 9 realms. There we go. That's Life 8, Magic 8, Magic 9. All the way underwater, all the way down under, and this one is. As soon as I find it, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about it. Water, Sage 8. Oh yeah, I have to look for the big M. Ice, M, F. Where the heck is the M? It's killing me. It's killing me. I'm gonna have to edit this now. Man. Here it is. Wow, way up top. That's weird. Okay, this is where you get Eldritch Magic. Finally, some Eldritch Magic. Now, it'd be nice to summon up Eldritch monsters, but instead we're going to use some of the attacks that Eldritch monsters do against you, and then we're going to learn them. So, Water 9, you're going to learn some really nasty, weird, dark magic. So, this is basically where water and darkness meet, and it's a magic level. So, I guess you can pull out your darkness chip on that one, and or water. Yeah, because it's also water. That's your only water level. Oh, nope. Nope, we had water on level 1. So, that's your darkness chip, I guess, for the male wizard. Now, and there's all kinds of weird monsters that come out of Eldritch Magic. And by Eldritch, I mean Lovecraft. I mean H.P. Lovecraft. And it's lots of squid stuff. It's basically the stuff from Pirates of the Caribbean 2. So, yeah. Big, huge, city-sized, building-sized monsters that do terrible things. And it's all magic. And I guess you could summon them up since it's level 9 wizard, and it kind of suggests maybe, oh, I want you to be able to summon up Cthulhu. That's so cool. anyhow, it would be nice to just at least use the same attack. So, yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to use more than just Cthulhu, and there's at least 4 or 5 Eldritch monsters, which are crazy to bring up. It's like the polar opposite of like the My Little Pony type stuff that was coming up in the female. This is dark stuff, and very D&D. So last final magic level is Surtur's Realm of Fire. It's all the way up there. It's all the way down here. I'll have to bend over to read it. We'll see. Fire 10, the 4 pillars of fire. So it's at the center of the planet. At the center of the planet is what is it called? I forget. Planet's core. Do I have anybody helping me out over here? Nope. Okay, so Surtur is the big smoky fire demon at the end of Thor Ragnarok, and has the big flaming sword. And in the Bible, there are 4 pillars of fire. Christian. Whole New Testament, so around hell. So we'll put it in a void of darkness. So that's a dramatic place for Surtur to be. So we'll put him there. And in Norse mythology, it's right next to the ultimate ice realm, and so that's the core of this planet. And then like between darkness and light, it's kind of like the in Mortal Kombat 2, where there's like wind tunnels and just takes you real quick. That's more or less the thought. And then any weird air or bolt levels are more or less storm and thought to be floating around, which would be cool. It would be cool if the storm levels just floated over the other levels. That'd be cool if it can be consistently pulled off that they're just floating. But therefore it changes the geography of the map. And the way the levels lined up, which, considering the errors with the magic and the possibility of double timing Eldritch magic in Water 9 as a darkness magic, you might be able to get away with some wiggle room with all of that. Okay, so Surtur's 4 Pillar of Fire. You learn the ultimate fire. It's like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, and he by the fires of Undun, and he makes like this circular ultimate fire barrier around him. Yeah, because he was in the core. That's similar to what we got going on here. No, Gandalf had a fire ring, which is does the wizard here? See, wizard doesn't come across fire. Oh yeah. Well, at least we got wizard coming across fire there. That makes me happy. Okay, so that's so wizards. That's all the levels there for the wizard. Now, I'll save some. I'll come back to some more wizard stuff at the very end when I do clean up. Okay, moving on to